angel coming for to sing his song. I can hear the drummer drumming. He's coming, and it won't be long. Hear the cry across the nations. People wanna be free, yeah. Free to leave the great plantations. Free to be who they want to be. I see it, sweet sound of freedom, and it won't be long.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's Everett with Ohio for Freedom, and it is the 17th of July in the year of our Lord 2021, and you are tuned into the Ohio for Freedom podcast. I want to tell you that born on the Tennessee side of the Mississippi Delta, I am your Delta variant. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Delta variant. We're going to talk about Cuba Joe, China Joe, Cuba Joe, China Joe. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about malfeasance in terms of ballots being cast, we'll say it that way. So we got a lot to talk about. I wanted to get up early this morning. I think everybody that I'm used to talking to is asleep. So sleep peacefully, but watch this later and let's get
I hear the sweet sound of freedom, and it won't be long.
If you are watching this replay or watching it live, I'm going to ask you something. Hit the like button right now. Just go ahead, hit it. Please. That helps us. If you can please share this, share it right now. And if you can find the Ohio for Freedom page on Facebook. I don't know why we continue to work with Facebook, but we reach a lot of people on Facebook, about 5% of who we used to reach on Facebook. And that is also something that we're going to talk about. But if you can find the Ohio for Freedom page on Facebook, please like and follow that, and always leave a comment. Zuckerberg hates it when you leave a comment, and according to Mike Lindell, Zuckerberg's going to prison, but that's another matter. Okay, so what I want to begin with today is there's something going on in Cuba, and the media is barely even talking about it. You have people that have been oppressed for 50, 60, 70 years, and they're rising up, and I just want to start by playing this clip for you. Volume might be a little loud, but look at this and look at the sheer number of people on the streets there. Well, there you go. And so, folks, I don't know about you, but if this wasn't sent to me from one of the many people that send me clips, I wouldn't have seen that. I haven't seen that on mainstream media. Of course, I don't pay much attention to mainstream media, but folks, that is thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and how much bravery that takes. That takes, what you are looking at is the spirit of freedom and just enormous courage and willing to risk being outed and being found out and being persecuted. So how is and we always say, we finally gotten to where we say Chinese Communist Party. Why don't we say the Cuba Communist Party? The Communist Cuba is cracking down on these people. And I'm going to stop here. I do want to say hi to Cheryl, and I want to say hi to Kane, and I want to say hi to Ramona and Kate and Rosita, all the way from beautiful Washington, and Ian. And so that's happening. And Ian, by the way, I'm not sure if you sent me the clip, but now what's happening in Cuba, these are people that are rebelling against communism. Okay, obviously. But I almost today, and there just wouldn't be time in this program, there are clips of people protesting in Ireland and protesting in France and protesting in England because they've had it. They're fed up. And it's interesting, if you think about it, the Cubans are like wanting to get their freedom, And the other people that I just mentioned, the Irish and the British and the French, it's like, folks, you better protest. And Australians, you better protest. And New Zealand's, you better protest, or you're going to be in the same situation that the Cubans are right now. And oh, I wish I had the clips. There's only so much production time, folks. But in New Zealand, hundreds and hundreds of tractors lined up in a march, lined up in a parade. I mean, it looked like here in Cincinnati, the Trump parade that went around the 275 loop. And I mean, that's very, very encouraging. But anyway, getting back to Cuba. So you have people that are risking it, that are laying everything on the line. And I want to show you how the foe-in-chief administration, the temporary help-in-chief administration, is reacting. And this is really disgusting. Here we go.
The Haitian government as it seeks justice in this case, and we affirm the United States support for the people of
Audio is a little quiet.
We also stand in solidarity with the Cuban people and their calls for freedom from the repression and economic suffering that Cuba's authoritarian regime is causing. Allow me to be clear. If you take to the sea, you will not come to the United States. The time is never right to attempt migration by sea. To those who risk their lives doing so, this risk is not worth taking. Again, I repeat, do not risk your life attempting to enter the United States illegally. You will not come. Those individuals are interdicted and returned to Cuba or Haiti.
What a creepy, despicable human being. And yes, I'm talking about the foe-in-chief, but I'm talking about this gentleman right here also. I'm assuming that Alejandro Mayorkas, I'm assuming that has a Hispanic ethnicity. So you would think if anybody would be a little bit human to the Cuban people. You liar, you despicable. I'm just calling you out. I'm calling you out. Don't you dare stand in front of the American people and say, we stand with the people of Cuba. And then you promise them that if they dare to take a boat and risk everything for freedom, you're promising to send them back. Folks, I didn't intend to get angry like that, but that angers me. When we fling open the border, and we've learned this week that the foe-in-chief is actually in secret using our military to fly illegal aliens into cities around the country, and you have this head of Homeland Security promising that if you're Cuban, however, we will return you to the Cuban communist regime. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. And you know what they're doing in Cuba? They're shutting down the internet. The internet is shut down. And I saw a story where there are boat owners and Floridians that are organizing to take boats near Cuba, not to start a war, but to supply food, to supply, pardon me, water. But you know one thing that the United States could do right now, instead of saying, hey, we're not going to start a war, but we're certainly going to be an encourager. You know, we have the ability, ladies and gentlemen, we could put ships near Cuba and we could broadcast 5G. I'm not a big fan of 5G, but we could provide them with internet. You know, here in Cincinnati, and this is a cohesive train of thought for all my haters out there. Look at my hair. I didn't graduate high school yesterday. I grew up hearing these words, Radio Free Europe, Radio Free Europe. And what was that? Those were efforts sponsored by the United States government that would broadcast by shortwave and whatever means were available to get the message of freedom and hope that would break through the propaganda of the Soviet bloc. And right here in Cincinnati, when you drive by the WLW towers, well, that's where that originally came from. These towers here used to broadcast all over the world. So I don't know all the details. So America has a history. It's in our history. It's our heritage to broadcast freedom and facilitate communication, because communist totalitarian regimes do not like communication. And instead, what is the pretender in chief, China Joe, doing? What is China Cuba Joe doing? Talking about China Joe. I guess I'm going to call him Cuba Joe. What's he doing? He's promising that if you have the guts to come to America, we will send you back. It's never a right time to take to the seas. Well, let me ask you, Alejandro. Folks, I'm on this longer than I expected to be, but let me ask you, Mr. Chrome Dome Alejandro, was it the right time for our forefathers and during the Revolutionary War? Was that the right time to take that dramatic risk? Yeah, I think it was. Okay, I am going to keep rolling. I think I've made my point. We ought to be supporting that every which way possible. We ought to be standing with them. Hey, Pierre. And so I will go. Well, I want to take a look at. Okay, I think I know where you're going, Pierre. And these comments are hard to read. So I want to keep rolling. So what's up next here? Well, we're going to do this a little bit out of order, but Rachel Madcow had another meltdown. I want to play that, and then we're going to talk about it.
The free and fair and nonpartisan administration of elections, because Republicans are attacking both of those things so aggressively in every single state where they hold power this year. And, on the Republican side, it has been driven, as you know, it has at least dovetailed with this increasingly insane Jeremiah from former President Trump that he didn't lose the 2020 election. There must have been terrible fraud. And he insists that Republicans who support him must lead weird inquisitions into the 2020 vote all over the country. And then, of course, proclaim that really he was the real winner and he should be named president now. Today, Arizona Republicans who are doing their so-called audit in Arizona, they gave a briefing on their progress. Only 2 Republican senators were there, but they tried to call it a hearing. This was this audit that they're doing.
Okay, y'all know I can only take so much of Rachel Madcow, but she's having another meltdown. She's going nuts, and we talked about it. And I want to back up just a minute and say this. Rosita says that she remembers Radio Free Europe. Yeah, because your grandmother taught you, because Rosita graduated from high school like 5 years ago. But, and if I'm having problems with audio, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it right now. Everything looked like there's a little check you go through before we go on here, but I want to show y'all something. And we are not through talking about internet and censorship by any means. But if you can see this, this was sent to me by Kate. Kate, thank you. This is actually a Tennessee representative, I believe, Charlotte Bergman. And she just did such a good job of delineating all the abnormalities of the what they're finding there in Arizona. So I'm just going to try to real quick skim through some of them. Ballot duplication nightmare. Serial numbers are required to match the original and duplicated ballot. Thousands of ballots either missing serial numbers or have unreadable serial numbers. I heard him talk about that, where if a ballot is damaged, then you have to make a duplicate, but you have to reference it with a number for the original and the duplicate. And there's lots of, quote, duplicates that don't have an original, that kind of thing. She mentioned cybersecurity vulnerabilities. Let's keep going. Extreme cybersecurity vulnerabilities. Last malware and operating systems update was in August 2019. When the software was originally installed. And then this item D, I know it's probably too small for you to see, but this is interesting. Suspicious anonymous logins. They have found anonymous logins at the system level that don't follow the pattern of normal Windows behavior. Maricopa County is unable to validate the security of the election system. The evidence provided suggests that only Dominion was able to verify the ICP connection. And so let's see, ballot calibration was off by an average of 1,000%. I'm just going to skim through this. If you Maybe I'll post this link on the Ohio for Freedom, but I mean, she just goes right through 11,326 people who voted do not show up on the 1117 voter rolls, but are listed in the 12-4 database. People who voted on election day were registered after 10:15, almost 4,000 people, 3,981. And so she just did a wonderful job of going through all, and folks, there's stuff there. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm not saying, Mr. Facebook, I'm not saying that it'll change anything. I'm just saying there's something that, Jerry Ann, I don't know how my Orcas got here. Getting back to the Rosita, you're welcome. Rosita says, thank you. You made my day. Folks, I want to keep rolling. Now, I might do this a little out of order. I had thought that we would be able to lay this guy to rest, but I'm not positive that we can, because they are, and folks, I am your Delta variant. I was born in the Mississippi Delta on the Tennessee side. There's a big sign in Brownsville that says the heart of the Mississippi Delta. And I thought we would be able to be clear of this guy, but with what they're pushing now, this is somebody we're going to have to watch out for. Here we go. Contact tracing man.
There's a man who lives to chase a virus.
We'll chase that virus.
One thing he won't waste is a good crisis.
Never waste a good
He'll
crisis.
track you through your phone.
Yes, he will.
He won't leave you alone. Odds are you will not be here tomorrow.
Here it comes.
Contact tracing man. Contact tracing man. Your boss gave him your number. Now they're taking you away. You stood.
All right, well, we'll let that go. Yeah, contact tracing, man. You know, I recorded that back in the fall and never really showed it to anybody. I thought we'd be done with it by now, but no, we're not, because they are wanting to come back with a vengeance. And so if I can find this, hang in there. Let me think here, because we're going to change gears here, folks. Look, it's going to be a full court press to sell this variant. Where is my variant? Okay. I'm missing something here. You're going to have to just bear with me for a minute. All right. I guess I can't find it. So I want to play this. Here we go.
Decide to wear an N95 mask and have it on your face the whole time, you're out, and never touch it, you get some minor benefit, although even that is not really proven. As you said, I mean, what I've grown to conclude over the last 12 months is that masks are very simply symbolic. All they are is a sign you are in a dangerous time. You need to listen to us. If I don't see people wearing masks, I forget to be scared. And that's why they want people wearing masks.
My wife and I couldn't believe that he actually said that we could believe it, but it was really refreshing to hear him say that on, and there's a clip that I'm looking for, folks. I can't find it. I don't know what happened. That's all right. But look, this whole variant thing, they want to push. And let me just play this. This is Psaki, and this will show you how they feel about it. I'm going to be able to pull this together.
And then, speaking of misinformation and the announcement from yesterday, for how long has the administration been spying on people's Facebook profiles looking for vaccine misinformation?
Well, that was quite a loaded and inaccurate question, which I would refute.
How?
Well, Peter, first of all, as you know, we're in a regular touch with a range of media outlets.
And we
Let me finish. As we are in regular touch with social media platforms. This is publicly open.
Okay, so Peter Ducey is asking her how long you've been spying on people, and I gotta say, I think we've all seen that Jen Psaki stummer and backpedal, and what do we call her? Circle back. Honestly, this is the most forceful I have ever seen. She is, to me, showing more spine and more backbone than ever, which tells me They are dead serious. They are going to die on this hill. They are going to sell this fear. They are going to sell this fear porn. They are going to sell this variant. They are going to sell this next wave. They're going to sell this next lockdown. Now, I'm not going to go. This was a lengthy clip. I'm not going to go. As she gets into a lengthy interchange with Peter Doocy, and she says, I've never seen, and folks, you know what medium I am on. You know that I got to be a little bit careful, but she says, we've not seen any evidence of, and she mentions pregnancy. If I put a pause in there, maybe the I'll miss it. Any issues? We've not seen anything to suggest that. Now, I'm going to play you something that's very subtle, but it is a tell. And this is from an 8-hour long, and I apologize, I can't remember who sent this to me. This is from an 8-hour long presentation that the FDA did back in October. And you're going to hear this gentleman speaking, and he's going to reference a slide, and you're only going to see it for about a half a second. I'm going to let that play, and then I'm going to show you what that slide says. So here we go.
I had this list of possible adverse event outcomes of interest. I won't dwell on this. He had them at the end of his presentation. So we'll be coordinating which of these and others that we might be using in our rapid cycle analyses. But it gives you a feel for the types of events. I'm sorry, this is slide 17.
Watch
FDA's
close.
experience with near real-time surveillance. So we have considerable experience.
Okay, I don't know if you saw that. Maybe I can go back. Now just watch. There's going to be like a little click. Let's just do that for fun.
So we have considerable experience doing near.
All right, well, let's try that one more time since I went there.
FDA's experience with near real-time surveillance. So we have considerable experience.
Okay. He didn't want to reference that. I'm going to show you what he was showing. Now, this is the screenshot of this YouTube video. So you can see, and if you look down here, it's 10/22/2020. All right. And you can see that it's FDA. So this is an official government YouTube. And where is it? Boop, boop, boop. Okay. So now I took a screenshot of what he said somebody else will handle. Now I'm going to blow it up because Pasaki girl Circleback just said we've seen nothing to suggest there might be any problems with, I'm going to leave that blank here. Just read where it says FDA's safety surveillance of COVID-19 vaccines draft working list of possible adverse event outcomes. Now, fake checkers. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that this is what the FDA was talking about. They didn't say this was happening or not happening, but this is what they were concerned about. I won't read all of them, but Guillain-Barré syndrome, acute disseminated encephalitis, transverse myelitis. Some of these I can't pronounce. Encephalitis, myelitis, encephalitis, convulsion, seizure, stroke, narcolepsy, anaphylaxis. Oh, let's just go to the right side. Deaths, pregnancy, and birth outcomes. So they were concerned about that. Circleback, Jen. They were very concerned about. And then I want to touch on this. Maybe I will I tell you what I will do. I will let the Surgeon General, if I can find him, I will let the Surgeon General make a point, and then I will comment, and then that will let me make my point. Oh, maybe I don't have it. Maybe he didn't get copied. Well, good. I'm just going to tell you. In that exchange, Jen Psaki said misinformation can kill people. She said that misinformation can kill people. And in the yesterday, the Surgeon General said misinformation can kill people. And to that, I would say, I agree. I absolutely agree. And I agree, and I know that I will assert that when you lie about therapeutics. You know, isn't it true that many times if somebody has a stroke or a heart attack, if they would immediately take an aspirin, it'll help, and sometimes it'll save a life? What would the situation be if the powers that shouldn't be forbid anyone from talking about aspirin? Wouldn't let them talk about aspirin. So somebody, has a heart condition, and instead of making sure they have aspirin close to them all the time, they don't even know about it, and they have a heart attack, and aspirin would have helped them, but because they didn't know about it or were told that was bogus and there was no peer-reviewed studies and the Lancet didn't believe in it, and they died, wouldn't that be death by misinformation? Well, by extension, and I know you know where I'm going, Mr. Surgeon General, Nuremberg, Jen Psaki, Nuremberg, Tony Fauci, Nuremberg. Because if you keep vital health information from the public and all you do is just spread your fake fear porn, Nuremberg. I didn't really plan on doing that today. So you know what? I might have covered everything. It's 27 after the hour. I've been going 27. There was one comment I wanted to, that I just saw. I can't see every comment. Variant schmariant. Yeah. Do I buy it? Oh, there's one thing I have to show you. And folks, I apologize. I do the best I can. I do the best I can. Where to go? Oh my. All right. I'm going to talk for just a minute because this has got me riled up. I want to show you, maybe it's a, did that change things? Here we go. It was a file thing. All right. I want to play this for you. And guys, we're almost done. But listen, this is going back to the big event 201. And Jen Psaki is talking about banning people. And she wants them, if you're banned on one platform, banned on all platform, because the pretender in chief, the temporary health in chief, he's more important than your First Amendment rights. Let me show you what this sounds like. Here we go. Okay, it's not going to play. It's because it's a format issue. Okay, so I tell you, next time out, I'm going to show you from Event 201 that this is exactly what they talked about. Because, folks, they're going to make one more desperate push to sell this variant so they can sell the so they can fear porn the rest of the world. So, folks, listen, I don't know about you, but I've already noticed the days are getting shorter. And we still got a lot of summer left. You folks in Canada, you don't have as much summer left as we do. Folks, you know what's coming. And in my title, I said, California, don't fall for it. They're trying to mask down everybody. Folks, Ohio, we ain't gonna put up with it. If I have anything to say, well, we are not going to go through this again. We are not. But folks, you're going to have to decide what side of the fence you are, because passivity is not going to win the day. Okay, I think I've said everything I have to say. And beyond that, I'll be saying the same thing twice, plus repeating myself and being redundant. So with that, I want to thank you all very much. If you can hit our PayPal link and support us, that's really, really appreciated. But please please share. If you're watching the replay, please share, please like, find our Freedom page on Facebook and follow it and so forth. Sign up for email on our website. And until next time, everybody, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the state of Ohio. And God bless the United States of America, which is standing strong and is entering reawakening and great awakening. And we are going to fulfill our role for the rest of the world. God bless you, everybody.